What's good, my little community? Welcome back to another lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing video with the equally lovely, equally beautiful, equally sexy, and equally amazing LiTTyENT. You already know what time it is. Now let's go. Now guys, today we're going to be looking at who could be a potential contender for UK Artist of the Decade. I'm not going to lie, there are a couple of hitters that I'm thinking of. But in this video, I'm going to explain who I would personally give my crown to. But before we get into this, you already know what you got to do. You just got to like, comment, subscribe so you can be up to date every time I drop a banger like this one. And hit that noti because you ain't in the so you could be the first to know when one of these videos comes out. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now guys, if you don't already know, Drizzy Drake himself, fresh out of breaking a nearly decade-long relationship, has actually now coincidentally been awarded Artist of the Decade at the Billboard Music Awards a couple days ago.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
And it had social media bubbling up for a while, wanting to know who would be the UK Artist of the Decade. And I've seen a lot of good names being thrown around here and there, but I'm going to tell you who I think would be in contention. For me personally, I think that the Artist of the Decade, without a shadow of a doubt, has to be Skepta. There's no debate, no argument, no conversation. It has to be Skepta.
Yeah, that's true. Now let's go back to my nigga on the floor.
Skepta has been consistently dropping hits year after year, album after album. He's been one of the pioneers of pushing UK rap music into the ears of America and the rest of the world. He's even been doing collabs with multiple international artists, and he just fits so well on each song. You know, you can hear Skepta on songs with Kid Cudi and Young Thug, and it doesn't sound like he's out of place, you know? I don't know what it is, but Skepta's just somehow he's able to fit his sound into each generation and into each country. I don't know how he does it, but he just sounds the same, but somehow it works. You know, he sounds the same on Praise the Lord as he sounds on Jumpy with Ambush. So, and ASAP and Ambush are two completely different artists. And if you're not convinced yet, don't worry, I got you. So let's take a look at what Skepta has accomplished this decade. In 2011, Skepta dropped Doing It Again with all of the massive hit singles like Bad Boy, Rescue Me, Cross My Heart, absolute banger. If you don't think Cross My Heart's a banger, I don't know what I got for you. Your boy said even Walkers ain't got this much flavor. So Alive and Amnesia. 3 singles charted in the top 40 in the UK singles chart, with Rescue Me being the most successful at number 14, Cross My Heart at 31, and the song actually made it to the top 100 album charts, which might not sound like a huge feat right now because we're seeing rappers get we're seeing Roscoe #1 and all this and that, but back then, when UK rap was barely mainstream at all, it was a huge feat to even get on the charts in the first place. The people that watched the charts back then, they were probably hearing this type of music at a cookout, maybe in JD if they were lucky, and that's really about it. Or they were hearing it from playing from the speaker of the person on the bike that was about to rob them. That's the only time people in the suburbs were really hearing that kind of music. He dropped Blacklisted in 2012, which also had 2 top 40 hit singles. In 2014, Skepta jumped on the German Whip remix and absolutely murked it. That same month, he dropped the classic that will still ring off at any club, any party, any concert 7 years later, titled That's Not Me. A song which actually peaked at 21 on the charts, which by today's standards is like going top 5. So it was really successful at the time. And Ain't Safe with ASAP Bari, which is basically, if you want a primary school to mosh pit, you just play It Ain't Safe. Even a primary school mosh pit. If you want a fetus in the womb to mosh pit, just play It Ain't Safe next to your girlfriend's belly. And I'm telling you, that fetus is... Then in 2015, he dropped another classic called Shut Down. And if the baby hasn't already mosh pitted from you playing It Ain't Safe, then I'm telling you, Shut Down is the only thing left to make that baby do a mosh pit. Maybe your girlfriend's having twins and one of them's mosh pitting and the other one's not. Then you just gotta play Shut Down and the other one's mosh pitting too, I'm telling you. That same year, he even did the remix of, I'm gonna butcher this, but I'm gonna try it anyway, Wheelie Jibba.
That's not the way you sing that song, man.
Man, no, I said that wrong. Wheelie Jibba with...
Can you shut the fuck up?
with Wizkid featuring Drake, also being one of the first UK rap artists to collab with Drake, who is, you know, the biggest rapper in the world right now. So that was quite a huge feat at the time, because he was still the biggest rapper in the world at that time too. In 2016, Skepta dropped Konichiwa, a fire and absolutely classic album, which actually went #2 on the charts, becoming one of the highest charting grime albums at the time. We had a bunch of hits on there. We had hits like Man, we had the Number song with Pharrell, we had Ladies Hit Squad with A$AP Nast. The list just goes on. And I think he's actually the first UK rapper to collab with Pharrell, which is, you know, that's quite a big feat. And, you know, I can't see Pharrell collabing with anyone nowadays, but who knows? It's a crazy world we live in.
I don't know.
That alone, I'd give it to him, the award. I'd give the award to him off of that. Pause, no homo. But Skepta continued, because in 2017, Skepta began his Banned from America 2-part 14-show tour on April 2017. This tour started at Coachella, which covered cities throughout the US and Europe, and the man had American suburban teenagers mosh pitting to grime. Which, again, that alone could give him the Artist of the Decade award, because I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw suburban kids mosh pitting to grime, you know? It really shows how far the world has come. And then that same year, he actually got a whole interlude on Drake's More Life, which again was a pretty fire song on Skepta's part and would turn up any club or party in the UK. So he got big looks on that project as well, alongside gigs, of course, kind of waving the flag for UK music making its way into the US, which is obviously what we want at the end of the day. $100,000 for the cheapest ring on the nigga finger, little bitch. In 2018, Skepta had another... See, Skepta, he just keeps going. He doesn't stop. Pause. He's had another undeniable banger by featuring on A$AP Rocky's Praise the Lord, which was the first time he actually got onto the Billboard Hot 100, and I think the song was even top 50, and it was closing in top 40 as well, and he produced the track, and I'm not gonna lie, the Americans were loving it. That is still the most successful track off that A$AP Rocky album to this day. So, you know, Skepta had a tracksuit and a drill, and he was just breaking down the doors to get UK music into America at this point. He also jumped on Playboi Carti's album Die Lit on the song Lean For Real, and the Americans were loving that one too, from what I've seen from the reviews and the comment section and whatnot. And I actually think that's one of Skepta's, you know, best qualities. No matter whether he's on a song with Playboi Carti or he's making a song with Ambush and Chip in the same year, he just sounds perfect on both records. I don't know how he's been able to evolve himself for so long over the years, but he's just one of those rappers that just doesn't go out of style. In the same way that Drake just doesn't go out of style. He's just always there, always bringing hits, always giving you features, and you're just like, yeah, he's just that guy. In 2019, he dropped another... I know, he just keeps going. He's dropped another fire album called Ignorance is Bliss, which just has hits for days. We got Bullet from a Gun, we've got Grease Mode, we've got What Do You Mean with J Hus, we've got Red Rum, and the list just goes on and on. And then to top off the end of that year, the man even got his own radio station on GTA Online. Need I say any more? I think not. I think my point has just been proven just off of the facts alone of what Skepta's accomplished this decade. And I think, as I was saying earlier, one of Skepta's greatest qualities is how he's been able to, like Drake, continuously reinvent himself. He's continued to stay relevant and, you know, stay respected throughout his career. You know, as I've gone through the years, you can even see it for yourself. There's literally never really been a year where you think, wow, like, where did Skepta go? Like, he's always stayed relevant. And throughout the years, he's been able to keep up with all the new people that are coming up. You know, he could flow when the new guy was Meridian Dan, or whether it was Ambush, or whether it was Young Ads that was the new guy. And he was able to even drop a whole collab tape with them. And the chemistry was there with every single person that he collabs with. He even collabed with Section Boys when they were in their prime, and that song sounded fire as well. Collab with J Hus, you know, he just can collab with everyone. And I said, there's a lot of similar parallels between him and Drake in terms of the continued relevancy and the respect level, because Drake can still keep up with the Lil Babies and the Gunners of the world that are kind of the new guys coming up right now. Well, not relatively new, I should say. And then at the same time, he can still be on par with the OGs like the Rick Rosses and the Lil Waynes and the people that were around when he was coming up. So Skepta can still do it with the Kanos and the gigs, even though I don't think they're cool anymore, but he could if he wanted to, and then can still make a track with the Daves and the J Husses of right now. So he's kind of got that continued relevancy, if that makes sense. And that is why I believe that, for me personally, Skepta is the UK artist of the decade. He's remained relevant throughout the decade. He's dropped banger albums and banger hits constantly. There hasn't been a year where Skepta hasn't had some kind of hit or some kind of hit feature. He's been one of the pioneers in the UK rap and American rap crossover, and just the UK rap global takeover in general. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Do you think that I'm right and Skepta is the UK artist of the decade, or do you think that I'm chatting absolute baloney? Have you got someone else in mind? Who would you put at the top of the totem pole? You let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 600 subs. You already know what time it is. You can follow me on IG at LiTTyENT _ for all your music scene updates. Follow me on my personal at the only LiTTyENT if you care about what I do. I'm not making these bangers for you. I post updates on Twitter as well, so you might as well follow me on there, because what else are you doing with your life? Absolutely nothing, mate. Stay black, and if you're not black, stay whatever race you are. I bet.
Oh, you ain't know I could sing?